Welcome to Particularly Griffin, where we get real particular around here. And the topic that we got going on today, we have Blueface and Soulja Boy. And what the topic is about is that Blueface had went on an interview with Funny Marco, and as he went on an interview with Funny Marco, some things were said. So let's get into it. So on the interview on December 12th, we have Blueface and Funny Marco talking about how first it started off with Blueface asking Funny Marco name 3 songs or else he's ending the interview. He stands up after the second song that Funny Marco had tried to mention out for him, and then right afterwards he just randomly names the 3rd song. But as he's sitting down, Funny Marco asks the next question. He asks, would Blueface be able to beat Soulja Boy in a verse, hit for hit? So Blueface says that he definitely is cool with Soulja Boy. I seen that, and then I was like, alright, cool. It doesn't seem like at all Blueface was defaming Soulja Boy. He was just like, look, I'm just a great performer. That's all he said. So now going down to December 15th, where Soulja Boy finds out and he sends a response. Well, not send a response. He says, set up the interview, the Funny Marco. He wants to do the verses. But I believe right before that, when he was just talking about how, oh, Blueface, I have literally song for song with Nicki, with Drake. He's naming all these people that he done the song and a hit with. Yeah, that's cool, but at the end of the day, they was just saying, could you do a verse? So later down the road that day, Blueface catch along and he sees that Soulja Boy said something, and then we did not get the response that we was expecting to get back. He says, oh, you're out here talking about all these songs that you're making, but then you don't even know that I made a whole album with your baby mama. So that's interesting on its own for the fact that he even said that in this tweet. So later down the road, we hit down to December 18th, where Soulja Boy and Blueface is now on Instagram, and they're talking to each other through the live. It gets real crazy, and then now we have Soulja Boy and Blueface going back and forth, and as they're going back and forth, we start to see where it gets real antsy, and it gets to a point for where it just seemed like as if Soulja Boy didn't mean to do that, because we all know Soulja Boy sometimes want to back out most of his battles, or at least keep them hidden, some people like to say. But for Blueface is not the type to put that in the dark. Blueface is to be out in the open with it. He loves the gangbang for where everybody knows it. But for Soulja Boy, he likes to keep it on the hush. And as you can hear in this whole argument, even Blueface say he don't want to name his hood because he says that his hood does not accept Soulja Boy. Do we think that's the truth, or do we believe that this could be a myth and actually Soulja Boy just really just keeps it on the hush when he's out there gangbanging, or if he does gangbang? Later down in this argument on this live, we have Soulja Boy and Blueface saying they're gonna squabble it up, and we all know the term squabble it up. We're definitely gonna meet up and we're gonna shoot the one. So Soulja Boy sends the DM of where the location, the link up to shoot the one. Blueface shows up and he does not see anyone there. Soulja Boy said that he showed up, but then I don't see too much that backed up that tweet. But then at the end of the day, if Soulja Boy said that he showed up, he says that Blueface wasn't there. He was probably out there with 12. The whole time Blueface was showing a video that he was asking people, hey, have you seen Soulja Boy? Have you seen Soulja Boy? Could not find Soulja Boy anywhere around. We get later into the tweets where Soulja Boy says, hey, we're never going to do this on your time. We're going to do this on my time. What did you think this was? So that was already crazy on its own. That was all December 18th. Now going into the next following day, we have December 19th, where Soulja Boy baby mama gets a lawyer to tell Blueface to cease and desist about claiming he had sexual relations with her. So when I think about this, is like when people ask a lawyer to cease and desist, I feel like there's some truth. That is literally my own opinion when it comes to this. It's just like, how is it that you ask for a cease and desist, but then at the same time, it's like, if it's already not true, you could just say that it's not true. But for you to say cease and desist, it gives me vibes of that is true. I can understand defaming, but is anybody really out here defaming? Or I don't know. So we're going to get further into those tweets right before December 19th. So it says, now stop tweeting about me before I pop out tonight and we slide through. You wasn't there. Probably had 12 waiting on us. That's what Soulja Boy said about Blueface. Blueface says he bet not say nothing else after today. The next tweet we have, I'm slapping the sugar honey iced tea out of you and punching on you on my terms, just as I was saying earlier, how he said he's going to do this on his time. Who said you run sugar honey iced tea and get to pick the time and place? Don't worry, it's on the way. He says it's the Blueface. Blueface responds, we all knew he wouldn't show. So going into the next couple of tweets, I'm going to Jada and Krishan, since you want to troll. To Blueface coming from Soulja Boy, let the games begin. I love it. The next tweet Soulja Boy says is, LOL, you let a white boy in trippy red homeboy take your woman. Now you out here crashing out. LOL. Blueface, we're gonna see who get the last laugh. Go get your who back. Hey, blood, sound like a woman who gives a blank about you, girl. I'm slapping the blank out of when you see you. Man, they really be going crazy with these words. Like, it is not stop. So you get the gist of what's going on of back and forth what I was just telling y'all. So it just seemed like it's just gonna be getting wilder and wilder between Soulja Boy and Blueface. But later down the road, we are now past all that since they didn't do the link up. January 3rd happened, and our new favorite song by Blueface and Jaden, Barbie, the remix. And now that remix is out, we now have a new song for where Blueface took the moment to talk about Offset, and he took a moment, let us know that Cardi is informed, and also to let us know that, hey, NLE, get out the way. So it just seems Blueface do not have no trouble disrespecting people and letting them know that he is doing it. So off from that, next following thing that we have going on, moving further down the line, January 9th, we have Blueface up in the club, and as he's out the club, he stomps out one of Soulja Boy plaques and disses him at the club. So this is already something that you already know is going to rile up Soulja Boy, and he gets mad about this. So later that day, on January 9th, Soulja Boy, he goes to live. Soulja Boy is now getting mad. And then we get later down the road, and then a couple days later, not even before the 15th of January, Blueface goes to jail. He has to turn himself in. So Blueface turns himself in because he violated his probation. And now that he's in jail, later down the road, you already know who's about to come next. Soulja Boy, he goes straight to the live, and as soon as he hops on live, he's like, oh my gosh, this is the time that I'm going for it. He's going straight into it, and the next thing you know, he just says on literally 5 days ago, January 18th, he's like, ha, you're in jail. I told you about the Rico. That's not really the reason why you're in there. He had to turn himself in. There's the difference. So he's in there, and then you hear Soulja Boy saying, I got money to put on your books. I got money for someone to come, do a whole bunch of crazy stuff to him while he's in there. It's just like, none of that's cool. It's just like, for you to even like bring up anybody getting SA to them, it's just like, come on, chill out. Like, Soulja Boy, you're not really thinking when you even said that. But then at the end of the day, hey, I can't keep you from saying what you think, because it's just like, that's what you said out your mouth. But Soulja Boy, he first starts off with saying all that 5 days ago, and then later down the road, he ends up coming back on the live, and as he on the live, it seems as if he was getting real apologetic. He's saying that he should have let it go. He wanted to squash things between the two, and then he just felt bad about what he was saying. But then later down the road, I guess right after, he hears Blueface on his own phone call, and he's just like, he love it here in jail. It's just like, that's an awkward thing for someone to say in jail. It's like, how you have a fan base and you tell your fans that you love it here in jail. You should be trying to tell your fan base to stay out of jail, not go into jail. But hey, their mindsets are two different types of people, and who follows these people are the type of people that love to follow these people. All I can say at the end of the day, Soulja Boy is going to do his thing. It seems like it's hard for him to stick to one thing that he tells himself to do. It seems like since he has all this money at a young age and then he grew up to be an adult, it's just like he's just a grown adult with a lot of tantrums that he can't really call a tantrum due to the fact that he's like, oh, I got money to pay for my tantrums for you to see as I'm an adult because I make more money than you. Or if not that, it's just, you really just can't tell Soulja Boy anything, because at the end of the day, Soulja Boy is going to be Soulja Boy. So you already know it's going to be going back and forth. Blueface talking in prison over the phone. He's really not going through nothing in prison. They really only just moved him around, but other than him being moved around, he's really not living the life of which you would consider a hard knock life in prison. He's just confined. Just call it like that. House arrest without his house. Arrested. And then for Soulja Boy, he's definitely trolling a guy that's in prison. At the end of the day, is like, it makes no sense, but that's what they're gonna do. But that's what I had to point out to you guys, because it was just very particular to me that someone wants to, go back and forth with someone in prison, and then for Soulja Boy to even go back and forth with someone where at first, yeah, it sounded like you was kind of like coming at him sideways, but at the end of the day, you said you wanted to do the verses, but it's like your ego got to you versus you just being an adult about it and putting Blueface in his place. Like, you're supposed to be someone that he looks up to for Blueface compared to you looking up to Blueface, or just for you guys to even think that y'all on the same comparison levels. It's like you started something first and then Blueface came out. It's not Blueface started something first and then you came out and then you're gonna argue with him. Like, don't 6ix9ine J. Cole this. But that's what I have on Particular Griffin. Thanks for joining me. Till the next.